Welcome back to the Elias Macko Show. It's 10:19 right here on CJAD 800. Now, last month, Montreal Chief of Police Fady Dagher spent 5 days living on the streets, sleeping in shelters, and visiting community groups. He's now mandating that new recruits get 4 weeks of quote-unquote immersion training in the communities that they will serve in order to better understand what is going on in the city. Let's talk a little bit more about this with Montreal's Police Chief Fady Dagher, who joins us on the line. Chief Dagher, welcome back to the program.
Hello, Mr. Marcus.
So, first things first, tell us why. Why did you spend these 5 days on the ground?
Well, when the chief wants to ask the recruits to go through the special training, I think it's good to be able to show the example and walk the talk. So for me, it was a way of showing them that if the chief can do it, especially that I did it very intense, I did it day and night, so it was 24 and 24. My recruits going to be doing it only 8 hours a day. So it was a way to show them that we need to do it. We need to understand what's going on the street. And to be honest with you, even after being in Montreal for 38 years, I thought that I knew all the communities, but after that week, to be honest, I have a lot to learn still. So I have a lot to learn, they have a lot to learn.
So speaking of that, what was the eye-opening experiences? What did you learn in those 5 days?
Well, first of all, to be able to sleep over the I call them the refuge, but what did you call them? The place with the homeless? I forget the name.
Shelters?
Shelters, yes. Yeah. Thank you. I slept in 4 different shelters, and that's one thing that struck me. It's how exhausted I was after 3 nights. And I was ready to give up because mentally, psychologically, and physically I was exhausted because during those nights, you don't really sleep. First of all, it was 28 degrees where I was sleeping on the floor. So it was a full experience to see what's going on inside those places. And after the nights that I went through, not being able to sleep, I was disorganized after 3 nights, and I was really to give up. So that gives me an idea. When I meet those homeless people on the street, and I'm wondering how they're doing and why they're so disorganized, why they're consuming drugs and alcohol. So then you understand better, and you're going to be able to intervene a better way with those people after. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have so many stories about, let's say, the Village, other places downtown. There were a couple of stories last week about the area around Charlotte and Berger Streets and residents in condos there who say there are drug users that come into their building. The residents of the Village took to the streets last week, and they're concerned about drug use, alcohol use on the streets. What does your experience in the shelters, how does that affect your position on policing the Village, policing other parts of downtown where you have issues with drug use and alcohol use in the streets?
Well, that's a great example because I went to have dinner and to a restaurant inside the Village, and I was able to be witness of what you just mentioned, the drugs and the alcohol. I think the solution comes from everybody. First of all, to work in preventive. So when we put police officers patrolling on the streets, talking to the people, talking to those homeless people, it's one way of trying to find a partner who can take over, take those homeless people and find them a place where they can be safe. And at the same time, I put more investigators to track and do some arrest on the drugs. So we have people who sell drugs in the Village. So we've been working undercover in that area to make sure that we're going to be able to arrest most of the people who are selling. But, to have a repression vision, only that is only a short vision. That's why I keep mentioning to the city with a group, EMIS. These are social workers with different partners around the street. Let's all work together to find a solution about the homeless people. We don't want to become Toronto or Vancouver. We want to make sure that we can work with the commerçants too, because even the people who own the businesses on the street, they ask me, Fady, please do more. Ask your cops to make them move. I say, I gotta make them move. Where? If I make them move to another corner of the street, it's gonna be the same problem. We have in Quebec, we have to be able not to address it as an emergency, but we have to address the homeless issue on the long term, which is apartments made for them and to find a longer solution. Because for now, we only focusing, all of us, all the partners, everybody, we only focusing on the short vision, which is take them, make them move to another place, to shelters, but they don't stay in the shelters. They want an apartment. So we have to, with the government, look to the longer solution, which is the apartments.
We're with Montreal's police chief, Fady Dagher, talking about policing. So you mentioned Toronto and Vancouver and not wanting to, become the next Toronto and Vancouver. I know residents in the village, they said last week they fear that the village is becoming into the next east side of Vancouver, which is a terrible situation that residents in Vancouver are dealing with. Are you worried that we're repeating mistakes that were made in Vancouver here and that we will end up in a place where it's like East Side Vancouver?
No, I don't think we're going to end up like the east side of Vancouver, because I've been in Vancouver also. But exactly what I don't want is to be able to be proactive and not become the east side of Vancouver. So with the city, to be honest with you, we are trying to find solution, and also with the health minister, Mr. Carman, to make sure that we're going to find a longer solution. I understand that the citizens of the village are really worried, but to be honest with you, my next target, it's the winter, because those homeless people now down the street, everybody sees them, and they're bringing some disturbance. But when it comes to winter, they're all going to be in the metro. And then we're going to have the same issue in the metro. So I keep telling the city of Montreal, let's focus already in the next 6 months what we're going to find, what kind of solution we're going to find. But to become the east side of Vancouver, I don't think so. I think it's sad to say, seeing what's going on in Vancouver, we're going to avoid it in Montreal. But it's going to take time. Like some people want results right away. I would say it would take between 1 year and 1.5 years, 2 years.
I saw residents last week on the Charlotte and Berger streets that are dealing with drug use on their streets, and it's in their buildings and it's right out there on the streets. Drug dealing, drug use. They have pointed to a safe injection site, a supervised drug use site in the area. They believe it's one of the reasons why things have gotten worse. I would love to know your thoughts, because more and more cities are doing this, where they are opening up safe, supervised injection sites. Do these sites lead to more crime or less crime?
No, they don't lead to more crime. And, if we don't have the I agree with the supervised site to supervise the injection, because if we don't have them, they will do it on the street, much more dangerous, and they will bring much more violence. I'm going to give you an example. A group that I met during my 5 days on immersion, it calls the L'Anonyme. L'Anonyme is a truck that is mobile, comes to some certain area. They know that people are doing drugs on the street, and plain view to everybody, kids and older people and citizens, and it brings such a sentiment of insecurity. It's crazy. So as soon as the anonymous truck is mobile, comes, grab that person, put in the truck, make sure that the person is safe, and it comes down. That person comes down. There's no crisis, and then they let it go. Let go that person. So how to say it? If there will be not a supervised injection unit or mobile or just a group that do it, it will be in front of everybody on the street, and it will bring even more the sentiment of insecurity. So I agree with it. We have to make sure that it's well done, but also we have to secure the citizens. So it's a 50-50% of effort of both sides, how to secure the citizen and how to make sure that we secure the user.
So that's the thing, right? And the priority between securing the drug user and securing the citizen. I live downtown, Chief. I live downtown, and now I've seen the number of times now in the last year that I've seen people using drugs openly on corner of Barrie and René Lévesque. I've seen people use drugs here, and as someone that lives downtown, I'm like, I don't know if I want to live downtown anymore. And I'm a man, I'm a man, and my neighbors that are 80 years old and they're women or their families, they don't want to even, they don't feel safe walking down the street. I can feel a little bit safe that nobody's going to come after me, right? So on that end, right, you have to secure citizens, and you're also talking about the drug user as well. Like, how do you do both? Don't you have to pick one?
No, actually, we pick both, and we put the same effort on both sides. Sometimes we put much more effort on the repression. I'm going to give you an example. Mm-hmm. Knowing that the summer is coming, knowing that it's going to be hot outside, and knowing that there's going to be some selling drugs, and especially what I'm worrying most is the quality of the drugs is being sold on the street. The mixed is extremely dangerous, so there's a lot of people have doing overdose. So we do a lot of repressive operation with undercover from the month of April to the month of May, June, to make sure that we discourage the people selling on the street. But after that, on the same time, during this operation, we try to talk with the different partners and see, like the group EMIS is all social workers who try to find a place for those users to go somewhere else. But again, if I push them from the corner of Berry and St. Catherine, and I push them more east or more west, I got to be receiving the same phone calls from different citizens, different partners, different people who are owning the business. Hey, how come those people are coming here now?
Yeah.
So one thing is sure, we have to do a lot of repression operations, but at the same time, with the partners, we have to make sure that to take them out of the street. Because only focusing on repression, you know how it is. It's like prostitution. Selling drugs, it's always going to happen, but we have to find a way to diminish as much as possible.
I know you've got a busy day, Police Chief, so I want to thank you for your time on the show this morning. It's always great to chat with you.
Thank you, Mr. Marcus.
That is Fady Dagher, Montreal's police chief.